Title:
They said
She
the
pretended
woods
to be
were
mute
safe.
for
They
years
lied.
to avoid being claimed, until the Alpha King
Now
found
the
out.
Wolf King hunts her.
For 8 years, Alara has not spoken a word. She lives as a quiet servant in the Silver Mist Pack and acts like she cannot talk. She does this to hide from the Alpha King, Darius, who is searching for a special woman to claim as his mate. One day, Darius comes to her pack. The moment he sees Alara, he feels something different about her and knows she is hiding a big secret. Alara is scared because if he finds out who she really is, her whole life will change. There will be danger, lies, family secrets, and a choice that could save or destroy all the packs. The last twist will shock your viewers and make them want more. Please subscribe, turn on your notifications button to get notified on our next interesting story. Tell us where you are watching from. Ilara works as a servant in the Silver Mist Pack. Her family, House Voss, was killed many years ago in a brutal attack. To stay alive, she pretends she cannot speak and only uses her hands and head to answer people. Everyone calls her the Silent Girl, and most wolves ignore her. Being invisible keeps her safe. One day, she hears news that the Alpha King, Darius Thornwood, is coming to visit. He is very strong and rules many packs. Alara is afraid because if he feels her true bloodline, he may claim her or kill her. She tells herself to stay small, stay quiet, and stay unseen. Darius enters the main hall. The room falls silent as everyone bows to him. Ilara stays at the back, cleaning the side tables and trying not to be noticed. Darius slowly looks around the room, studying each face. His eyes stop when they reach Ilara. A young boy suddenly trips and drops a lantern. The flame almost hits the floor rushes and could start a fire. Ilara moves quickly and catches it before it falls, all without making a sound. Darius sees her fast, steady move. He asks the pack leader who she is. They answer that she is just a mute servant. Darius keeps looking at her, and, in his eyes, it is clear he does not fully believe that story. That night, Ilara lies awake and remembers her past. She sees her father's face in her mind and hears his last words telling her that her voice has power. There was a prophecy in her family. It said a silent daughter would either bring peace to all the packs or cause great ruin. Many wolves feared this prophecy, and her family was attacked. In the forge the next day, Ilara hears 2 wolves talking. They say the king is looking for a lost heir from House Voss. She wonders if Darius is her enemy or if he could be something else. During dinner, she serves wine at the high table. When she passes Darius a cup, his fingers touch hers. She feels a strange pull in her chest. He quietly tells her that she can speak if she needs to. Ilara quickly turns and walks away, more afraid than before. Darius does not leave. He stays in Silver Mist for several days, and Ilara often feels his eyes on her. One evening in the garden, he walks up to her while she is tending plants. He tries to talk, but she only nods or shakes her head. To test her, he drops a thorny stem near her hand. It cuts her skin, and the pain is sharp. Ilara wants to cry out, but she bites it back and stays silent. Darius sees her flinch and whispers that most people shout when they are hurt. She just looks at him, then looks away. That night, Ilara hears there are nomads near the border. She thinks they might be survivors from her old pack, and wonders if they are looking for her. Late that night, Ilara sneaks out of the pack house and into the forest. She follows a special howl she remembers from her childhood. In a small clearing, she meets Ronan, a rough nomad who knew her family. He calls her by her full name, Ilara Voss, and tells her the old prophecy is waking again. He explains that Darius's advisor, Lord Garrick, helped plan the attack on House Voss years ago. Ronan also tells her that the locket she wears, her mother's last gift, is not simple jewelry. It holds old magic and is tied to the prophecy. He warns her to be careful with Darius and very careful with Garrick. Ronan looks like a friend, but inside, he feels jealous. He hates that Destiny chose Alara and not him, though he hides this from her. The next day, the pack holds a big event in the yard with music, fire, and dancing. Children run around playing near a broken stone ledge. Ilara is nearby, gathering herbs. One child slips and almost falls over the edge. Without thinking, Ilara runs forward and grabs the child's arm. As she pulls the child back, she lets out a loud, shocked gasp. Everyone hears it. The whole yard goes quiet. A guard shouts that she is not mute. Wolves turn to stare at her as if she has lied to them for years. Darius steps out from the crowd, his eyes full of questions and anger. He walks over, lifts Ilara gently but firmly, and takes her away from the others so they can talk alone. In a private room, Ilara finally speaks properly for the first time in many years. Her voice is rough and shaky. She tells Darius her real name and says she is from House Voss. She explains the prophecy about a silent daughter who can bring great peace or great disaster. She admits she stayed silent to protect herself and any survivors of her family. Darius listens closely. Then he shares his own secret. He also lost people in that same attack and carries deep pain from it. He says he did not order the raid on her family and has long wanted to know who truly did. Darius tells her he believes they are fated mates, but he says he does not want to own her. He wants to stand beside her and protect her if she allows it. Ilara hears his words, but is not sure she can trust him yet. News of Ilara's voice spreads through the pack. Some wolves are afraid of her power and want her gone. Others think she might be a sign that better days are coming. The pack elders talk about putting her on trial. Ronan meets her in secret again and tells her more about the locket. He says it is tied to an ancient beast and to the real, unedited prophecy. When Ilara feels strong emotions, the locket glows and sometimes shows quick pictures of the future. Ronan says Lord Garrick changed the original prophecy scroll to make himself look like the true chosen leader. Later, in a council meeting, Garrick tries to turn people against Darius and Ilara. A hidden knife flies toward Darius. Ilara shouts his name and pushes him away. Her voice saves his life in front of everyone. Now the pack sees that her voice can protect, not just destroy. The pack decides to hold a special trial to test if Ilara is a danger or a blessing. They bring her to a sacred circle in the forest. She must stand in the middle wearing the locket while the elders call on old magic. The locket starts to shine and shows visions. Ilara sees her family on the night of the attack, hears their screams, and feels their fear. She also sees Darius in the past, fighting alone against unknown enemies, trying to protect his own people. The visions hurt, but they also show hidden truths. Darius steps into the circle and says he will share her fate. He chooses to stand with her, even if the magic turns against him. Another vision appears and shows Ronan. It reveals that Ronan is not just a friend from her pack. He is her half-brother, born from another secret union, and he has long felt angry that she carries the power, not him. This truth cuts Ilara deeply. When the trial ends, the elders cannot call Ilara a monster, but they also do not fully trust her. Garrick runs away before they can catch him. Ilara turns to Darius and asks what really ties his bloodline to the old attack. Darius swears he did not order it, and shows her an old amulet that matches a mark on her locket. It proves there was once a peace pact between House Voss and his house that someone tried to erase. Ronan, still hurt and bitter, tells Ilara they must leave before the prophecy wakes the ancient beast. At dawn, nomads loyal to Garrick attack the borders. The pack must fight. Ilara stands between two roads. One road is to flee with Ronan and cut all ties. The other is to stay and fight beside Darius, the king who might break her heart or save her destiny. As she hesitates, the locket suddenly grows hot. She sees a vision of a twin she never knew she had, trapped with Garrick, and a future where one choice will decide whether all the packs fall into darkness or rise into peace. The vision from the locket will not leave Alara's mind. She sees a girl who looks almost exactly like her, with the same eyes and the same mark on the neck. The girl is locked in a dark room, and Lord Garrick stands near her, smiling in a cold way. Alara understands that this girl is her twin sister, taken when they were babies and hidden all these years. The locket shows Garrick using the twin as a tool to control the prophecy. Alara wakes from the vision shaking. She tells Darius what she saw. Darius believes her because the locket has shown truth before. He says they must find the twin and stop Garrick before he uses her as a weapon. Darius calls a private meeting with Alara and a few trusted wolves. They agree that they must act fast. The longer Garrick has the twin, the more danger there is for all the packs. Alara wants to go on the rescue herself, but some wolves fear she will fall into a trap. Darius looks at her and says, he cannot lose her now. Alara answers that if they do nothing, her sister may die, and the ancient beast may wake. In the end, they choose a risky plan. Darius will lead a small group to draw Garrick's forces away, while Alara and Ronan slip into Garrick's hidden base to find the twin. Ronan agrees, but his eyes show a mix of care and jealousy. Before dawn, Alara and Ronan move through the forest under a gray sky. The air feels heavy, as if the land knows a storm is coming. Ronan leads the way, using old paths known only to nomads. They see strange marks burned into the trees, symbols that match the cursed writing on Alara's locket. Ronan says Garrick has been doing dark rituals here. Alara feels the locket grow warm, like it is reacting to the marks. She hears faint whispers in her head, but she cannot tell if they are from the locket or from her own fear. When they reach a rocky hill with a hidden door, Ronan says, "This is the place." Alara takes a deep breath. Her voice and her heart must both be strong now. Inside Garrick's base, the walls are lined with old glass and polished metal that reflect faces in strange ways. Alara feels like 100 silent girls are walking beside her. They move carefully, trying not to make a sound. Ronan points to a room at the end of a narrow hall. Alara steps inside and freezes. There, chained but alive, is the twin from her vision. The girl's name is Lyra. She stares at Alara with wide, shocked eyes. It is like looking into a living mirror. Before Alara can speak, the door shuts behind them with a crash. Garrick's voice echoes through the room. He says he knew they would come. He tells them the prophecy needs both twins, one voice to heal and one voice to break. And he plans to choose which sister serves which role. Garrick walks into the room with a slow, proud stride. He explains that he changed the prophecy long ago so that people would fear Alara and trust him. He says the real prophecy speaks of twins, not one daughter. One twin's voice can bind the packs together, and the other twin's voice can wake the ancient beast and tear everything apart. Garrick has been raising Lyra in secret, training her voice with dark spells. Now he wants Alara to join his plan. He says if Alara gives up Darius and uses her voice as Garrick commands, Lyra will live. If she refuses, he will force Lyra to be the breaking voice and destroy the packs. Alara's heart feels like it is splitting in two. She loves a sister she barely knows, but she also knows she cannot let Garrick win. As Alara struggles to decide what to do, Ronan steps forward. His face is full of anger and hurt. He says he is tired of living in Alara's shadow. He admits that Garrick made him a secret promise. If Ronan helps bring Alara to this place, Garrick will give him power and a high rank in the new order. Alara feels like the ground is moving under her feet. Ronan was her only link to the past, and now she sees he has been pulled in by his pain and envy. Lyra cries out and begs Ronan to stop. For a moment, Ronan looks unsure. Alara uses her voice, calm and strong, to remind him of the good times they shared and the family they lost. A small crack opens in his anger, but Garrick keeps pushing him to stay loyal to the dark plan. While Garrick is distracted, Alara takes a risk. She begins to sing a soft old song that her mother used to sing. The melody is simple, but full of feeling. Lyra remembers the song too and joins in, even though her voice is weak. The locket on Alara's chest starts to glow brighter and brighter. The chains around Lyra rattle and then break. The mirrors on the walls show new images, not of fear, but of possible futures where the twins stand together. The magic in Alara's voice is not wild and cruel like Garrick hoped. It is steady and healing. Ronan falls to his knees crying as he sees a vision of a better path for himself. Garrick is shocked and tries to use his own magic to stop them, but the twins' joined voices push him back. Far away, Darius is leading his group in a fight against Garrick's forces. The earth suddenly shakes. A deep roar rolls across the land. Darius looks up and feels a cold fear. He knows the ancient beast from the old stories is waking. No one can see it yet, but they can feel its power rising from under the ground. Back in the prison of mirrors, the locket cracks down the middle. Energy bursts out and flies through the stone. Alara and Lyra realize that, even though they tried to use their voices for good, some part of the prophecy has still been triggered. The beast is now awake. Garrick laughs and says they are too late, but Alara refuses to believe that. She says the prophecy does not say the beast must be evil. Maybe their voices can guide it instead of letting it destroy everything. Alara, Lyra, and Ronan escape the base as it starts to fall apart. Rocks fall, and dust fills the air. Ronan helps carry Lyra, trying to make up for his betrayal. Outside, they meet Darius and his warriors, who have fought their way through enemies to reach them. Darius is shocked to see Lyra because she looks so much like Alara. Alara quickly explains the truth about the twins and the beast. The sky turns dark, and thunder rolls even though there are no clouds. The ground cracks open in the distance, and a huge shadow moves under the earth. Everyone knows they are running out of time. Darius says they must all stand together now, or they will all fall together. Alara feels fear, but she also feels a deep strength she never felt before. She is no longer just the silent girl. She is a leader. Alara, Lyra, Darius, Ronan, and the gathered wolves move to a wide valley where the energy is strongest. The ground splits, and a massive, ancient beast rises from below. It has the shape of a great wolf made of stone and fire, with eyes that glow like molten gold. Many wolves want to run, but Alara raises her hand and asks them to stay. She and Lyra step forward together. Garrick appears on a nearby ridge, still alive, shouting that the beast belongs to him and that it will destroy anyone who stands in his way. Alara knows this is the moment the prophecy spoke of. She takes Lyra's hand. Together they lift their voices, not in fear, but in a clear, strong call. Their song tells the beast of all the pain, all the love, all the hope of the packs. The beast turns its burning eyes toward the twins and pauses, as if it is listening and thinking. Everything is balanced on this one moment. One wrong note could mean the end of all the packs. One right note could change their world forever. The valley is silent except for Alara and Lyra's voices. Their song rises and falls like a wave. The ancient beast stands tall, made of stone, smoke, and fire, staring down at them. For a moment, it roars and the sound hurts everyone's ears, but it does not attack. Instead, it lowers its head, as if it is trying to remember something. The twins sing of their lost family, of packs fighting, and of a world that could be different. The beast's fire grows softer, turning from angry red to warm gold. Some wolves fall to their knees, thinking the beast has become their enemy, but others see that it is listening. Garrick shouts that the beast must obey him, but the beast does not look at him. It only watches the twins. Garrick realizes the beast is slipping away from his control. In a rage, he pulls out another piece of dark magic, a hidden shard of the broken locket. He holds it high and calls on every cruel spell he knows. A black wind swirls around him. The sky above him darkens, even while the valley below is filled with the twins' soft light. Garrick screams that if he cannot rule the packs, he will burn them. He sends a blast of dark power toward the gathered wolves. Darius jumps in front to shield them. Alara and Lyra feel the pull of the dark shard. It tries to twist their song into something sharp and broken. For a moment, Alara's voice shakes. She almost loses the tune. Lyra squeezes her hand and adds her own strength. Together, they bend the song back toward light, pushing against Garrick's storm. The clash of light and dark magic spreads across the valley. Rocks crack, trees bend, wolves struggle to stay standing. Ronan sees that Garrick's shard is the key. As long as Garrick holds it, the dark magic will keep feeding on fear and hate. Ronan looks at Alara and Lyra and remembers the vision from the prison of mirrors, where he saw a better path for himself. He knows what he must do. While Garrick is focused on the twins and the beast, Ronan runs up the side of the ridge. He takes several hits of dark energy, but he keeps going. At the last second, he grabs Garrick's arm and pulls him down. The shard flies from Garrick's hand, spinning through the air. Ronan and Garrick both fall hard. Wolves rush to help, but the shard is still dangerous. It could land in anyone's hand. The shard falls toward the ground. Time feels slow. Everyone watches it drop. Alara knows that if someone with a dark heart grabs it, the prophecy might break in the worst way. She lets go of Lyra's hand for a moment and uses her voice to call the shard. Instead of landing in the dirt, it stops and hangs in the air, caught in the sound of her word. Lyra adds her voice, and the shard starts to glow. The beast lifts one huge paw and gently taps the shard. The dark color drains away from it, turning clear. Garrick tries to crawl toward it, but he is too late. The shard floats to Alara's open hand. It has changed. It feels calm now, like it is no longer a weapon but a simple piece of crystal. Garrick realizes his last trick has failed. His face fills with fear instead of pride. With his magic broken, Garrick tries to run. Some of his followers turn to flee with him, but most stop. They have seen too much. They no longer believe his lies. Darius steps forward, badly hurt but still standing, and orders Garrick to answer for his crimes. Ronan, wounded yet alive, blocks Garrick's path. He says he will no longer follow darkness. The packs surround Garrick and take away his power and his titles. They choose not to kill him right away. Instead, they decide he will be judged in front of all the packs later, so no one can twist the story. Garrick screams that the twins have doomed everyone by changing the prophecy. Alara looks him in the eye and says the prophecy never belonged to him. It belongs to those who live with its cost. After the battle, many are hurt, but most are alive. The beast lies down at the edge of the valley, watching quietly like a giant guardian. Darius walks to the center of the packs. His crown is cracked and blackened from the fight. He takes it off and places it on the ground in front of everyone. He says he is willing to give up his title if that is what the packs need to feel safe again. He admits his house made mistakes by hiding the truth of the old pact with House Voss. Ilara is surprised and moved by his words. Some wolves shout that they trust him now more than ever because he is ready to let go of power. Others are unsure and want time to decide. Darius tells Alara that his love for her is not tied to a crown. If she chooses a life without him, he will accept it, even if it breaks his heart. Alara feels torn. On one side is Darius, who has stood by her, listened to her, and was ready to lose his throne to protect her. On the other side is Lyra, her twin, who has lost almost everything and is just starting to live freely. The Packs are also looking to Alara as a leader, even though she never asked for that role. Lyra says she will stand with whatever choice Alara makes, but her eyes show fear of being left behind. Ronan, lying on a healer's blanket, tells Alara that she cannot save everyone by herself. Alara walks to a quiet place with Lyra and Darius and speaks from her heart. She says she loves Darius, but she also loves her sister and her people. She cannot choose only one. She must find a way to protect both love and duty. Alara returns to the gathered Packs and speaks clearly so all can hear. She says she will not be a queen who sits far away from the people. Instead, she wants to create a council where every pack has a voice. Lyra will take a seat on that council as the twin who survived the shadows. Darius will not rule alone as king but will serve as one leader among many, with his crown as a symbol of service, not control. Some are shocked by this new idea, but others feel hope. The beast lets out a low rumble that sounds almost like approval. The clear shard and the cracked locket are placed together on a stone, forming a new symbol for the peace they are trying to build. That night, under a sky full of stars, Darius finds Alara standing by the edge of the valley. The beast sleeps in the distance like a mountain. Darius thanks her for saving his soul as well as his life. Alara thanks him for seeing her as more than a weapon or a prize. They speak quietly about their fears, their dreams, and the long work ahead. Then Darius asks if, after all the pain, she still wants to share a bond with him as mates. Alara looks at the sleeping camps, at Lyra resting near the healers, at Ronan watching the stars, and then back at Darius. She steps closer and kisses him, soft but sure. She says yes, but with one condition. Their bond must never take away her right to speak, to lead, and to walk her own path. Darius agrees and says he wants nothing less. Days later, the Packs begin to rebuild. The first council meets, with Ilara, Lyra, Darius, and other leaders sitting in a circle instead of on a high stage. The beast stays near the valley, calm and watchful, like a silent guard. Some Packs accept the new peace. Others are quiet, still unsure. Garrick is kept under guard, waiting for a full trial. Ilara feels a strange calm, but also a warning in her chest. On the night before Garrick's trial, the locket and the shard both glow again for a brief moment. Ilara sees a quick vision of someone standing in a far northern land, holding a torn copy of the prophecy. The figure's face is hidden, but they laugh softly and speak of finishing what Garrick could not. The vision ends fast, leaving only a cold feeling in her heart. Ilara looks out into the dark and knows one thing for sure. This peace is real, but it is not the end. It is only the end of the first season of her story. The next storm is already on its way. Moral lesson: silence can be survival, but truth is freedom. You cannot hide from your destiny forever. Real strength is not in hiding who you are, but in facing the world with courage. The voice you're afraid to use might be the very thing that saves everyone. Let's make the comments section interesting. Tell us where you are watching from, what you learned from the story. Please turn on your notifications button to get notified on our next interesting story. Many people laughed at me that nobody will watch my channel. Don't let them win. Prove them wrong by hitting the subscribe button. Thank you for your support. Always, we appreciate you.